we bought a house. Hi, welcome back to my channel. It has been forever. We have been super busy and just a lot going on in our family right now. But I just wanted to sit down while I have a few minutes and take some time to just kind of let you guys know where we're at. Some exciting things have been happening. If you're new here, please subscribe. It really helps my channel. And to the rest of you, welcome back. I am sitting in a hotel in Canmore here with my husband. He's having a school retreat, and so we're here with the little baby who's now 7 months old, and I'm still working on that birth video. I will get it out eventually. I actually haven't even started working on it. That's how crazy things have been. But anyway, she's sleeping right now, so I'm trying not to talk too loudly. Yeah, it's been a nice little getaway here for a couple days. I've never stayed here in Canmore before. We have a beautiful mountain view, and it's just nice to enjoy the quiet. I brought some yarn with me, and I'm gonna do some crocheting and work on some Christmas presents while I'm here. And just hang out and relax. And we are at our hotel in Canmore. What do you think about this place? Huh? Hi. Is it quiet? We bought a house. I'm very excited. Our whole family's very excited. It's kind of been a long process. Long, not so long. Feels long, but it's actually only been a couple months that everything's kind of happened. So I kind of just wanted to backtrack and just let you know kind of how this all came about. So when we first were planning to move 4 years ago, when we moved to this town, our realtor had told us about this house that was actually just taken off the market, but it was on 2 acres and a pretty big, like, bungalow ranch style house. And she's like, that house would have been perfect for you, but they just took it off the market, and it was winter. So anyway, I couldn't stop thinking about that house. I was like waking up the baby, but I'm like, maybe if we go like knock on their door and see if they still want to sell, you know, like that's how crazy I was about thinking I really wanted this house, and how perfect that would be for our family. But anyway, the way things worked out, because my husband's job was just temporary, we actually couldn't get a very big mortgage at the time, and so the house that we got was perfect for us at that time. And it was small, and only half, like, the basement hadn't been renovated, so we, you know, lived in half a house for a couple years until we started adding a couple more bedrooms just in the last year or so, and that's been great to have more space. Anyway, so fast forward 2 years ago, it was on the market again, and I kind of was interested, but the timing wasn't quite right. We'd been looking at acreages pretty much since we moved here. I did do a video on one that we looked at that was a quarter section, which is 160 acres, and it was beautiful, but 20 minutes away, far, and ended up, we put an offer on it, but it ended up falling through, and we didn't get it, obviously. So anyway, since then we've kind of just been on the hunt, And we kind of decided, with the way the market is right now, it's still kind of high, interest rates are high, not the best time to buy a house. So we would just wait for the spring, hopefully things had come down since then. And I just had a baby too, so just not the best timing. Um, but I'm always looking just in case. And anyway, we'd kind of, as winter settles in, I don't get as anxious about having more space, just kind of hunker down for the winter. Then it was available again this spring, but at a like 100,000 over what it was originally. And so that was just kind of like, we would never pay that for it. It was way overpriced. And anyway, a friend of mine sent me the link to it, and I told her, oh, yeah, we were interested in this one at one point, but it's, way too much money. And so then, but then as I looked at it, I'd noticed that they had dropped it. Well, I knew that they had dropped it 20,000. Yeah, they dropped it 20,000, and then they dropped it another 20,000. So it had come down within only a couple months of being on the market. It had already come down quite a bit, and so I was just like, they're lowering the price. Maybe they're more motivated to sell. And what can it hurt to just take a look at it? Maybe I don't know. Maybe later on it'll keep coming down and we'll be able to afford it eventually. So anyway, I contacted my realtor and she's like, yeah, they are lowering the price. Like, maybe you'll get a chance to, put an offer or whatever. And so we arranged to look at it, and we all started getting really excited, and I just kept looking at the pictures, and I could just really see us living there. And actually, oh, I forgot, one time, a couple years, I think it was soon after the previous owners had moved in, she posted that they had a bunch of rhubarb that they wanted to get rid of, and so I went over there. Nobody was home at the time. She just said, just go around the side and dig up the rhubarb. And so as I was walking through there, I just got this feeling like, oh, we could live here. Like this, like it felt homey to me. Like it felt like I could see our family living there, which was kind of random and weird, but I guess just because I thought it was just because we had that thought previously. So anyway, then we went to go look at it, and the owners had moved out. They were getting divorced, and yeah, moved out, and so there was just like a family, like their nephew or something living there, and hadn't been really taken care of, kind of just like abandoned. Their stuff was still there. There was a dog there. There was garbage and mice, and we brought our kids, and we were all excited, and we get there and we're just like, I don't know, this is a lot not as nice as it looked in the pictures. I mean, in the pictures it's like, it's dated, it's got wood paneling, which, as you notice behind me, this beautiful wood paneling in our hotel, so it's coming back in style. Just, I don't know if we can make it work for a while. Anyway, it has wood paneling, so we're like, whatever. That's not a big deal. But looking at like the layout of the house, it was almost exactly what we had planned when we were planning to build a house, like buy some land, build a house. The layout was almost exactly what we had planned. Like, it had a sunroom, which is like, a greenhouse sunroom, which we really wanted. It had enough bedrooms, it's 4 bedrooms. We had like the master suite on one side, which was like way bigger than I would have ever done, but pretty awesome. The only thing is, it's not an open concept. It's like sort of is, but it's got like a bunch of closets in the middle, where like there's like the kitchen, formal dining room, living room, and then like a breakfast nook. And then, so yeah, it kind of circles around these closets in the middle. So maybe eventually we'll take those closets out and make it an open concept, but that was really the only thing. Like it had all the rooms that I wanted, but it's all on one floor, which is crazy. Like when we planned it out, we kind of had 2 floors or 3 floors. Um, but so it's really long. But it does have a partial basement, and probably just do cold storage, and maybe we'll eventually build like a movie theater there. We're gonna miss our movie theater that we built in our house previously. But anyway, so we went and looked at it, and we were very surprised at the state of things, and shocked. And yeah, but we still were interested, but we definitely didn't think it was worth, what they were asking. And so we decided to put an offer in, and they counter offered, and we offered lower. We're like offering here, and they're offering up here, and we're here, and they're here, and then they weren't really budging much from where they were. And so then we said, we will clean it. You don't have to clean it. Just get your stuff, and we'll clean. And they came down to where we were willing to, as high as we were willing to go. So yeah, so we were able to bring them down, and actually first, because they were getting divorced, the husband accepted it, but then the wife didn't, and we had to wait another day to hear if she was. And finally she was in full agreement as well. And it was pretty exciting. We actually went to Home Depot to get some stuff for renovations for our current house, and our realtor calls us, and she's like, Honey Bunches of Oaks is moving. And it was really exciting. And we're in Home Depot, and I'm like trying not to like scream, but I was also obviously very excited, and everybody was looking at me anyway. But it was a very exciting moment. We're moving. Just crazy the way that things worked out. Like we weren't even really looking at the time, but it was the timing. It was the right time, and we're just so grateful that everything happened the way that it did, and that we're able to now have this house. And we get possession next month. We were hoping to be in before Christmas with the cleaning that we need to do. We actually got a kitten, which was another huge step for us. Mark's not a cat person. He always said we would never get a cat. But when you have mice, you need a cat. And living on an acreage, you basically have to have a cat to keep mice control down. So yeah, so we got a cat, and she hides in our basement. We have only seen her like a couple times. She hasn't come out much, because she was a farm cat, and the kids were hoping that they could play with her, but we haven't been able to catch her yet. So anyway, that's been exciting, having another animal in our house. But yeah, so we'll get possession, and then lots of cleaning to do. So we don't know how long that's all going to take us to get the house in good enough shape for us to move in, but hopefully it's before Christmas. We are working on finishing renovations on our house to sell. So yeah, just lots to do. We've already started packing like a ton of boxes, which, let me tell you, living with half of our stuff, like we only have pretty much the stuff that we're using all the time and nothing extra. So like all the toys are packed, the books are packed, which kind of gets annoying. But it's so easy to keep the house clean. And just like real testimony to me again about how much easier it is to live with less stuff. And but I'm excited to have more space. This house has so many closets. Like we have 2 closets in our house right now. One is like a tiny linen closet like this wide, and then the other one's just like a coat closet in our entrance, and just a single coat closet, and then a couple closets in the bedroom. bedrooms, but yeah, just the house only has those two. And so this current house has, I think we counted 10 closets. That's not counting like bedrooms. That was just like in the main areas. So it's crazy. We're gonna have so much more storage, so much more space. We are just so thrilled and so excited for this next chapter in our lives, and we're excited to bring you along with us. And we are planning to get some chickens and goats, or we've talked about getting a dairy cow as well, a Jersey cow. We'll see which one. I feel like we should start with goats and then work our way up, but we'll see what ends up happening. But Mark is really excited about making cheese. So anyway, we're really excited to have more space. There has been, I forgot, there was an issue with this house with the septic field, and that was a whole thing. We almost didn't get the mortgage, but it all worked out, and we just have to get the septic field taken care of as soon as the ground is not frozen, as soon as it's warm enough to work on it, which means all winter we're going to have to be really careful with it. And I don't know what we're going to do. It's a lot of people. Their inspector's like, there's not a whole lot of septic fields that would work for 9 people. So we'll see. We've never had to deal with this before. And we're going to try and, I don't know, see if we can separate the water so not all of it's going into the same place. But we'll see what ends up happening. We're probably going to be living, pretty rustic for a bit. We're pumping our water out of the bathtub. Or I don't know, we're coming up with ideas of how we can have less going into the tank so that it can handle more. So anyway, that's going to be fun. We went back a second time to look at the house, and we didn't bring our kids this time because, we weren't sure how things were going to be, and it was just shocking for the kids the first time, and I was just worried about them touching stuff and anything. Anyway, so we went without the kids, and I feel like the first time I was just so shocked about the state of things that I didn't really get to look at anything. I was like, I didn't see the closets. I didn't know like what kind of storage it has or anything. Anyway, so I wanted to look again, and Mark wanted to check a couple things out. So we went again, and it didn't seem as bad. I guess the initial shock was, they were like, okay, it just really needs cleaning. That's the biggest thing. Like, there's no major damage or anything like that. It's just cleaning. So then as we're walking through, I came outside of the house, and the sun was kind of low in the sky, and it was like filtering through the trees. And when there's like kind of that twilight time, and you can kind of see like little bugs in the dust of the sunlight kind of thing. It was that. So there's these little bugs in the air, and the sun is low. It's the end of the summer, and it was like fall. When was it? October? Yeah. So anyway, around that time, September, October, and so the sunlight's coming through the trees, and as I'm walking, I just have this like memory of a few years ago, when we were still living in Raymond. It was like, I don't know, maybe like 6 years ago. I was doing some mentoring with my cousin. She had me go on this vision quest. I don't know if I've talked about it on here before, but it was a really neat experience for me. But basically, she gave me like these questions, and I went and sat completely alone in like a park, and just had some like quiet time to myself, and brought some pen and paper, and just answered these questions. And there were questions like imagine yourself like it's like your funeral, and then it goes to like your what's happening at your funeral, what are people saying about you, and then in 20 years from now or in 10 years from now, and you kind of go through and then work on like, and then, okay, what do I need to do to work on now to have that kind of future? So that was kind of the basis of this vision quest. And so anyway, it was, I guess, 20 years. It was when I was like 50, like in my 50s. What are you doing? And it's like, close your eyes and visualize it. Like, what are you doing? Where are you? What's around you? What are the feelings? That kind of thing. And as I did that, I had this like image, vision, whatever, of me walking with a teenage daughter through our property, and that we didn't have at the time, through a property that was ours. And there was some trees around us, and we were walking in between these trees, and there was sun filtering in exactly how it was when I saw it. And I knew that that was the spot that I had seen, and it was just so cool. And I'd kind of been questioning because we went from like, let's get 160 acres because it's like more bang for your buck kind of thing, and to like 2 acres. And so, and I kind of debated, what do I want to live out of town or do I want to live in town? And this is like right on the edge of town, so you're still part of still close to town. And I kind of I wanted more space. I wanted like to not have like neighbors so close to me. Like, it just felt like I was in a fishbowl all the time. And so this, obviously there's more space, but but I also like, do I want to be completely far from everything and have to come into town all the time? Or it was just like, there's just pros and cons to both, and I didn't know which one was better basically. And so I'd been praying a lot to know, and to just, I guess I was praying to know what would be the best for us to grow the most, to be the best versions of ourselves, and to be able to help those around us the most. Like, what is going to be the best growth for us? And so I didn't know. I wasn't sure, like, did we need to be out of town? Did we, is this the right one, or are we supposed to keep waiting, right? Because there was a lot of things, like financially, which we also had some really neat experiences, my husband, just like, where we felt really strongly that we would be taken care of through this process, and that it was the right thing. And so that kind of gave us the strength to move forward with it. And everything has just fallen into place so beautifully. And even though it wasn't like the timing that we necessarily thought, like, I wanted to have land a year ago, but then we were like, well, let's wait for the spring kind of thing. So it really wasn't, we weren't looking for it right now. But that's just, I feel like every big thing that's happened in our lives has been the Lord's timing, not our timing. But we've still been so blessed. It's like, these are the things you're asking for. These are, the things that I'm going to bless you with, but it's not going to be when you want it. and I'm okay with that. And I'm learning to be okay with that, and to trust in God's timing. But, it was just so neat to experience that, and to have that moment of like, this is the place that I saw. And it was just something really special to me, and I just wanted to share that with you and have that as part of this story. I've just really seen the Lord's hand throughout this whole process, and it's just been so beautiful for us to see that, and to know that this is what we're supposed to do, and that this is the way that we're going to be able to have the best impact on those around us as well, in our community. And it is like, we just keep hearing what a great community, because it's like a group of acreages, 2-acre lots, lots of different families around it. And we just keep hearing like how wonderful, it's kind of like its own community, and we're really excited to be a part of that, and to be able to contribute in whatever way that we can through having more space and being blessed with more. And yeah, I'm just really excited for what the future holds. We are just so grateful to God for all that He's given us and for this wonderful opportunity that He's given us. And we are so grateful to everyone that was involved in the process that helped to make it work. And it was just a really faith-building experience for us. And we're just looking forward to the new adventures and things that are going to happen in the future. Yeah, have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.